8:30.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
Issues indeed. T-Radar joining us this morning via live Skype video. Good morning to you, T-Radar.
Good morning. Lotus Mason.
Yeah.
Sounds, are they like the bastard child of Otis Mace?
I don't know. I think he's got a bit more pedigree than that.
Oh.
I think he's been around a wee while, this Mr. Mason.
Yes, but then so is Otis Mace. Gosh, he must
That's
be getting
true.
on now.
Yeah.
Wonderful songwriter. What's some
Yeah.
of his classic hits? Oh.
We need one of those shows. Where are they now? Type shows.
Yeah, we do. For all those people who we kind of used to sort of know in that sort of oddly small cult-like way.
Yeah. Do you remember
Still
David? Was it David Parker? David Parker from the Parker set.
Oh.
He now organises like the Titirangi Music Festival.
Yes, it's interesting where all those people go. They sort of pop up from time to time, and you go, "Oh, I wondered where you'd gone."
Yeah.
They'll be saying that about us in the future. I mean, whatever happened to Wammo? Presented that popular breakfast show in Kiwi all that time, and now what's he doing? What will you be doing?
Washed up. Hey.
Writing short stories, bitter short stories about the state of life.
Well, it's like what will Cameron Bennett be doing? Because looks like he's quitting TVNZ.
Yeah, one of the longest-serving journalists currently there, which, to be fair, is not saying much given the youth of many of their journalists, but 25 years. Some wonderful, terrible and wonderful sort of things that he's reported on, Rwanda, all of that kind of thing, and in the bit of the shake-up, he says it's provided him with the sort of the incentive he needs to move out of the TVNZ newsroom, and I believe he's going to go and become the sort of the media manager for Andrew Williams, the North Shore mayor, who's now running for the Super City mayoralty.
Yeah.
But who isn't? Who is running for the Super City mayoralty?
You're not? Are you not?
No, I don't think so. There's far too many people sort of doing it. I think Ewan Gilmore is. He'd be a good choice. Then there's a new businessman who's turned up. There's Banksy. There's, what's his name out there? Len Brown. It's all the sort of mayors have got their hands in the trough.
Yes. Did you catch up on the Simon Prast? And
yes.
What he was.
He sort of was doing well until he said, "Yeah, I smoked pee, but I'm okay." Sort of scenario. Damien Christie actually wrote a good sort of blog about that on Public Address a couple of weeks back. So it's not the kind of thing you want to admit when you're running for the mayor, but thank God for the honesty. It gets rid of some of that sort of scaremongering that's out there. But yeah, he would have been an interesting sort of choice. Or let someone come in from I don't know, from totally left of field where you go, "Oh, look, I'd never thought of you, but that's fantastic."
Can you imagine where that would come from? Or is it would be so unimaginable, whoever this could be, that we can't even possibly dream it up?
I don't know. It's also as well linked to that fact that do we really value our mayors? You know, they're politicians, and we sort of have a sort of a casual disdain for MPs, but our mayors actually rated even lower down the scale than parliamentarians.
I wonder where mayors rate on the cleanliness scale. Of workers.
Well, I know that in terms of hygienic... Oh, I just got an email. That's marvellous. In terms of hygienic workplaces, we, as media workers, are fourth in the most unhygienic behind school teachers, bankers and accountants. Doctors, who you'd think their workplace is full of lots of sick people, they come in at number 5. But apparently this woman they brought in from the States, she's a germ-busting microbiologist. Oh, she's not a woman, she's a man. Charles Gerber from Arizona University. Easy mistake to make.
Yeah.
He said he's come in and he said we're safer eating our lunch off our toilet seat than we are at our desk.
Not surprised, especially around this workplace. Yeah.
Exactly. So, if you're thinking of making yourself a sandwich, don't sort of sit on your desk and butter it. Go put the lid down on the toilet. Make that. It's far safer for you.
A toilet seat lunch. It'll become
Yes.
a regular fixture, no doubt.
It would be. And, of course, and dishcloths. They're the worst of all. Your dishcloths there in your kitchen covered in all kinds of yuck.
Yeah, talk about yuck. Wildlife yuck. Sparrows are actually dirty little creatures. They spread salmonella poisoning, don't they? Salmonella bacteria.
You get diarrhea and vomiting. So no mercy on them, and difficult to trap. Apparently, they're very clever, a sparrow. So Auckland University's taken a leaf out of some of the sort of the pea-addled cop killers and hired a dude with a slug gun. One of the most deadly weapons in New Zealand at the moment, which in a way is terrible as that is. It gives me a strange sense of national pride. There's no AK, there's no sort of submachine gun sprees. It's dudes with slug guns.
This is true.
And so they've shot all of these sparrows up at the university to get them out of the atrium. They're coming in there and they're eating everyone's lunch off the tables, dirty little birds. So they've got rid of those. Did it on a Sunday, obviously, when there were no students around to wail and gnash their teeth and pull their hair. So, God, you know what they did with them all? I actually went to a business yesterday.
Yes.
I won't say who they are, but they know who they are, to get some stuff. And they said, oh, no, it's a bit of a disaster, which there's a dead possum hanging out of our ceiling. And I went, oh, really? Do you want me to get rid of it? And they said, oh, no, we're trying to find a man. I said, oh, look, I have to do it. I do this kind of thing all the time. And I went there, and they had like the yellow plastic Tim's traps?
Yeah.
Up the ceiling, and the possum had got caught in it, and he was kind of hanging out of the ceiling. And I went, oh, yeah, I'll get rid of that for you. And they said, oh, we haven't got any gloves. I went, yeah, no, it'll be all right.
Nah, mate.
Ran it out there, put it in the plastic bin liner, and off they went. But that was quite consternation.
Oh, man,
The best thing was, it had been hanging in the ceiling in the toilet, and people had been going to the toilet hadn't noticed it.
Right.
So probably not a safe place to make a sandwich.
No. Was it all rigor mortarised?
Oh, it was getting a little bit sort of stiff, yeah. I
Yeah.
think it had been there sort of a day. What was yesterday? Monday. Might have been there since sometime over the weekend, actually. So I might have gone through that rigour and into the sort of floppy thing. But it made you think, if anyone's going to have a sick day on Monday, it was that possum. not going to go and get a doctor's certificate for that. What's going to be the problem? Well, my neck's broken and I'm stuck in a trap and I appear to be dead.
Which would be a valid excuse, but they kind of want to take away that opportunity that if you are feeling slightly off colour to take that day off work without some very valid, extremely valid reason.
Yes, and essentially what you're going to have to do, this is going to make a worse problem because you're going to have a day off work because you're sick, but you need to get a doctor's certificate, but you can't get to the doctor for another 3 days, so then you've got to take another half day off work to get to the doctor, to get your doctor's certificate to prove that you were probably sick on the day that you actually said you were.
Yeah.
It's an
T-Radar,
shambles.
Here's the point on this one. I'm going to tell you about this one. It was only a year ago that we had the whole swine flu thing. It was a year ago, something like that. Where they were saying if you're feeling slightly sick, do not come to work. You don't need a reason. Just don't come to work. And the government was saying that was the right thing to do as well. Now it's not so. Now it's not okay.
Well, it is okay, but you've just got to get a doctor's certificate.
Oh, bollocks.
Which, but they're saying, and this is going to create a bigger problem, a wonderful sort of article coming out of Australia on presenteeism, which is more dangerous than absenteeism. And presenteeism is when you turn up when you probably shouldn't. You're sick, you're snivelling, you're sneezing into your hands, you're wiping them on your desk. Someone's coming up to your desk and making a sandwich while they chat to you. Disease is being spread through the workplace. It's rampant.
Yeah.
And you're not productive. You actually, you do worse, you make bad decisions, all of that kind of thing. So it's actually better to have that day off. But this may or may not be the case under the new sort of employment law. But the good thing about it is the employer has to pay for it. But if you're on a very low wage, you don't have a lot of money to go and afford a doctor. I was looking at doctor's fees the other day. Do you have a doctor?
No, not since I left Chichur.
No, and you keep ringing up a doctor, and they say, "Are you on our list of people?" You go, "Well, no," and they go, "Well, who's your GP?" And you go, "Well, I'd quite like you to be."
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, we're not taking any more people."
Oh.
But you're supposed to have a regular GP. Who has a regular GP?
Well, people do, but they're sickly types.
I suppose so. Maybe we're just kind of strong. Maybe we're more of the presentees, and we just turn up even though we're feeling a little bit under the weather. Yeah. For the benefit of people who don't currently have Skype, Wammo is flexing he's pumping his guns, and he's looking at a picture of radiant health, even this early in the morning. Good.
On that note, T-Radar, thanks so much for your company here on the show.
Again this week, and if not, I'll present the doctor's certificate.
So I expect it.